Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and I'm really excited for this palette. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but I saw this one and I was like, whew, I can't wait to review. Like how some of them you look and you're just like, oh, like I'll review it. People are going to want to know. But this one, I was like, ooh, I like the look, the aesthetic. This is like a very versatile palette. I'm feeling it. Urban Decay, Born to Run. Huh? It's a $49 palette. It has like a shit ton of pans. How many pans? 21. There's 21 pans in here. And I was like, what? How big are these pans? They're only 0.02 ounces a piece. That's depressing. What? Am I reading this right? It's on the back. It says that these are 21 times 0.02 ounces. You guys, these are the tiniest pans in the whole world. Like, I bet you if I were to just like rub a pan, I bet you that I would hit pan with my finger just by like rubbing a little hole in it. There's almost no product in here. That's the first disappointing thing. I really, like, and look at how deceiving that is. Did anybody else? No, I never would have thought that. I need it. Really? And for the record, if you're new to my channel, I usually compare everything to a standard Urban Decay shadow, which is normally like right around 0.05 in the Naked palette, stuff like that. They are usually 0.05. So 0.02 ounces is so small. Maybe it's because they're like super pigmented. Maybe they just know something I don't know, you guys. That's what we are here to find out today. Is this worth $49? Do we love it? Are the shadows amazing? Is this really a palette that we can run with, that we can go places with? The first thing that struck my eye with it was how many different colors it had, not only for different skin tones, but different looks, day to night versus, you know, like super smoky or this or that or really avant-garde. I feel like there's just a lot at play in this palette. And when I swatched it, I was really impressed. I actually swatched the majority of it here and then the last 5 up here. So there's a lot to be said for the gradient of this palette. We are, of course, going to get up close and look at all the swatches and whatnot. Why are there still sprays in front of me? Guys, I need the whole dance floor right now. I need the whole floor. So as I said before, this is $49. It has been released to their website for about a week and a half by the time you guys see this video. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of bummed at the way that they released this. I know that it's pretty standard for them, but they actually have this palette and then like 3 lipsticks and some eyeliners that were all a part of this collection. And I was really bummed that they didn't release them all at once because I would have picked up and reviewed the entire collection. I love Urban Decay eyeliners. I think they are some of the most fantastic things in the world. Like, they're so gel, they're so creamy, they're so gel. Who says that? They're so jelly, like, ugh. But I love them. They're so good. The quality is ridiculous, and I love reviewing them. Like when they did the Heat collection, I picked up all the eyeliners that went with that, all the lipsticks that went with that. So for me, that was kind of a bummer, but nonetheless, all we have is the palette today because I don't get PR. Urban Decay, hook us up, I'm just saying. But it does say that it is coming to Ulta, the full collection, as of 6/19, which is actually the day right around one of the days when you guys see this. So that's exciting. It'll be in stores 7/24, and this palette will be yet again for the 15th time, $49. And now we're gonna look at some swatches. And by the way, this didn't come with a brush. Anybody else think that that's weird? Don't Urban Decay shadows like normally come with some kind of a brush? Don't they? Like, didn't the Nakeds come with one? Maybe I'm making that up, but I thought that they normally came with brushes. I was like, these pans are super tiny and there's no brush for 49 bucks. I do really love the packaging on this. They've got like pictures of all these different places, which I love, and it's not like shiny or reflective, and I was really happy about that because I feel like lately every package is like reflective gold, reflective sparkles, reflective this, and I loved that they just went with like a super simple design, a super simple aesthetic. Like, look at photos, and they're all over the back, and I don't know, I really liked it. And then right where it says UD Born to Run Urban Decay, this is like raised a little bit, which I really like. And then when you open it up, you get a huge ass mirror, and it does bend all the way back. Like, it's super easy to store. It's actually got like one of these where it's really wiggly, so you have lots of mobility in this area, which I really appreciate. Okay, I promised I'm done talking now. We're gonna do this. Right, Paige? It's a lot of shadows. 21. First up, we have Breakaway, Stranded, Blaze, Weekender, Still Shot, Riff, Good Is Gone, Hell Ride, Baja, Accelerate, Guilt Trip, Ignite, which is stunning, Smog, which is fitting, Wanderlust, Wild Heart, Punk, Double Life, Jet, Drift, Radio, and Big Sky. So these are, of course, the last 5. I still want them to get their sexy moment. And then this is the rest of that palette. How you doing? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is take these swatches off my hand because I'm not going to lie, I already know that I'm going to wear them because I've already gotten them all over myself. So let's just go ahead and take these off. And while I'm taking them off, let's talk about how they swatch. Now, I know that we all know in the beauty community, we don't live and die by swatches. That's just not how we do things because we're smarter than that. We're evolved. But I am going to say these were not the best swatching shadows that I've tried in my life. Like some of the mattes were really chalky and they didn't show up really well on my arm. Like they just didn't swatch like they had any pigment to them. So I'm really hoping that when I go to apply them to the eyes, I'm hoping that that's not the case in real life. So I don't know, that was kind of disappointing. And then the other thing that I thought was kind of weird was that some of the shadows were very inconsistent to me. And again, these are just swatches, so they account for like 5% of the overall grade. Don't you love in high school when teachers used to do that shit? They'd be like, oh, well, this only accounts for this much of your grade. Like, bitch, then why do I gotta do it if it doesn't count? But nonetheless, they made you do it. So I don't know. I feel like they didn't swatch the best, but I am super hopeful. And I know I'm wearing this green shirt, so you're probably like, what the hell is this bitch even gonna do? Like, nothing's gonna match. My hair's back in a pony. It's like this whole thing, but I don't know. I just really wanted to sit down and play with it, and I haven't gotten to yet, so like, why not? And I really loved a couple of these colors and just how different they looked. Like, can we just have like a moment where we talk? Because this color right here, I'm obsessed with, and this green. And I was like, wait a second, I never play with green. And for those of you that don't know, or you are new to my channel, I don't know where that came from, I did go in and prime my lids today with the Urban Decay Eden Primer Potion. I love this stuff. And I set it with Coty Airspun. That's what I do every day. And yeah, I know, my brows, they're like not even the same, but that's cool. They're distant cousins. They're trying to regroup. They're trying to love each other again, okay? Are we really gonna hold that against them? They're two cousins that are trying to love each other. Not in the creepy way, okay? So where do I want to go first with this? Do I want to start? I think we're obviously going to, yeah, we're going to start with like a brown in the crease because that's totally going to look gorgeous. And I've been loving this lately. I've been trying it. I've tried it a few times like on/off camera, starting with like a deep dark color first and then blending out from there. It's kind of fantastic. Like, I'm just saying. So maybe we should go in first with the shade Punk right here. It's like a matte brown. And maybe we're just going to take that on like a Morphe Y17 right here. Maybe if I had one in my hand. And we're just going to start dunking and we're going to put that right in the outer V. And we're just going to start working it from there. So now that we have that kind of right where it's at, we're going to go into the shade Riff, which is this guy right here. And I'm going to take a little bit of that on this is just a fluffy little Milani brush, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to fluff it into this crease and kind of lightly fluff in the upward direction. Just a teeny tiny little bit. And I'm keeping the camera a little bit farther away today. You guys can tell me if you like it. I feel like some people really love it, some people hate it. But I've noticed that I do have a problem. Like my camera doesn't like to focus on me. And I think it's because I have to use a mirror because I'm freaking like blind as a bat over here. So, yeah, if that bothers you, I'm really sorry. But like me being able to see the eyeshadow look is really like important in this process. So I'm sorry. But God, is that, like, how pretty is that? These colors, they just blend so nicely. Oh my goodness. Okay, now for this next part, we obviously are going to take the green into the center. But how is one to take the green? Do I want to actually cut out the center and then put the green in? I think that's really going to be the best option, right? Right? Yeah, that's the best way to, it's got to be the best way. Let's just do it. Because the best part is that if you cut it and you don't like the way it looks, you just smudge the line a little bit and it's like it never happened. I can't tell you how many times I've done that business in my life. Several. So we're just going to take a little bit of this Eden Urban Decay Primer Potion right here. A little bit of this right here. A little bit right in there. And we're just going to take it and we're going to cut it out a little. And I'm going to be using this jank ass little brush. If y'all are new to my channel, I like jank ass little brushes. This is a little sponge tip on one side, came in a palette, and then on the other side it had this flat little brush, and I have taken it and I've packed this little brush so far with concealer that it's like basically like a thin little piece of plastic concealer. It's just kind of matted down and disgusting, but it works great for giving you like a precise ass line. So I'm gonna take some of that, I'm gonna dibble it in what's on my hand right here. And I don't know why I took the smallest amount known to man. I did not take enough, but that's okay. And we're just gonna take, and we're just gonna, you guys are always asking me to do this on camera and show you why it doesn't work for me. Take a little bit and you put it on the line, and then a lot of people can like look up. And do you see where it puts my line though? It puts my line so high up because my eyes are so hooded. That's all right. We're just gonna rock with it. Who cares? Let's just kinda do this. Rap on, sisters, rap on. All right, you guys, that took a second, but it kind of is looking good. I mean, again, the cut is a little bit high, but when I shut my eyes, you can't even tell. So it's all well and good. And what we can do too, if you have this similar issue, I'll show you how to fix it. But I just go in with like a really tight pointed brush, like something like this, kind of like a pencil brush. And I go in with that darkest color. For me, it'll be that dark matte brown. And you can kind of bring it back a little bit, re-smudge it out. And it's like it never happened. So again, in my world, we don't like do perfect things. We just fix mistakes constantly. And we pretend like they're not mistakes. It's cool. So I'm actually going to take this sponge tip applicator right here. I love working with sponge tip applicators. You can hate me if you want to, or you can comment down below and tell me if you're the same, because I paid for this. Like if it comes in the palette, I paid for it and I'm gonna use it, right? Right. So I'm gonna take the sponge tip applicator. You can use any flat top or flat brush or anything, your finger, I don't care what you use, but you can go in, and I'm gonna go into that green shade Wanderlust, which, I mean, if you're curious, just one more time, look at how cute that is. Like, oh yes. Yes, I love this green color. Please, for the love of God, apply to my eyes as pretty as you applied to my face. And we're just gonna pack that onto that concealer area. Whoops, I didn't mean to go right in the center, but I did. That was not intentional. I did not mean to do that. That's where the gold was gonna go, but that's fine. We'll fix it. Again, not a big deal. We've already moved on. Dang, that's pretty, you guys. That's like not even wet. That's just all by itself. Ooh, like, can you guys see that shine? I'm sorry, I moved you in a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't go in and out of focus. I won't leave you guys there too long, but I'm just so impressed. And that blends in so nicely too. And I will also just kind of show you, let's see how it applies with a finger. I have a feeling it's gonna, oh yeah, wow. Beautiful. So it doesn't make a difference. Finger is great as well. And there's very little to no fallout, like for the whole eye look so far, which is impressive, because normally when you start touching shimmers, you start touching some fallout, and there's not that much right now. You are a blending queen, hear my scream, you are just 2018. I was gonna go for like I'm 28 and I'm a teen, but 2018. Hey, my God, I'm so clever and I don't even know it. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, Becky, her butt is so green. Okay, that's not, okay, see what I mean? Focus. I saw that, bitch. I saw you. So now, how do I want to do this part? Because I really need that gold to be intense now that I screwed up and put the green everywhere, which, by the way, did we really screw up or did we make life happen? Because I personally find that to be really beautiful. I'm obsessed. I want to take, do I want to just go in with my finger first? You know what? No. How about we do this? Because I need it to be super intense, I'm gonna spray this. This is another brush that came in a palette. It's just a Cargo Cosmetics. It's a double-ended. I actually broke it, but I just kind of, I pretend like it's not broke. I just keep that on there good and snugged. Sometimes you can do this, and you can like bite it back on, and hopefully it just stays on a little better. I know what you're thinking, Paige. Wow, you might be white trash, and you might be right. So now we're just going to take, this is the Catrice Prime and Fine, any spray, don't care. It's just the first one I saw. And I'm just going to take it, wet it a little bit, get it good and wet, make sure it's like in the bristles. And I'm going to go in with the shade Stranded, which is this guy right here. And we're going to take and pop that in the center of the lid. And we're going to see if we can bring back that poppable, oh, I'm sorry. I did not realize that we were bringing sexy back right now. Okay. Bringing sexy back. Yeah. The mothers don't know how to act. Yeah. I will say it's not popping 100% as well as I wanted it to, but that's also kind of my fault because I kind of put the green down when I shouldn't have. So it's okay that it's only this vibrant because it's fighting a very dark base. You know what would look really good on top of that is like a pop of highlight. I'm just taking my finger and dabbing a little bit on to make it super concentrated right up the center right there. Then I'm going to go in with that same green sponge tip applicator thing we used. I'm just going to kind of smudge the sides to make sure everything is blended, because girl, we like things to be blended. And I am going to go in with that ColourPop pencil real quick. That's like more of a pencil brush style, and I'm going to tap into the shade Punk, which is that dark matte brown, and I'm going to mix it with Riff. Those are the two browns we originally worked into this palette, or into the palette. We worked them into the palette. We worked them into our crease, and now we're going to go in, and I just want to retrace out real lightly and kind of show you guys what I mean by that redefining that area up there. Because it doesn't take a lot, but I just want to make sure that that cut crease really stands out. And then I'm just taking it and I'm also very lightly blending it into that green on the sides. Okay, you guys, is this giving anybody else like kind of lizard vibes? Not in like a weird way, but is that crazy? Am I weird? Like, I just think that that's so pretty. Oh God, that's so pretty. Ooh, yes, yes. And everything blended so well. And if you think about it, that is only 4 colors, my friend. 4 colors. And there's really good depth and dimension. And you could take it even like a step further if you wanted. And you could work like Breakaway or something like that. You could fluff it lightly like into the crease up here, which maybe we should. I mean, we're testing a palette, right? Just say right, because we're going to do it anyways. So many of you guys tell me that my facial expressions give you life, and I'm so glad to hear you say that because my facial expressions are so extra on a daily basis. It's pathetic. And this is something that's relatively controversial. Some people would say it's okay, some not. This is Breakaway. And it's kind of a shimmer, but it's like a really, really diluted shimmer. And I love to take colors like that and mix them into the upper crease because it just helps like dissolve that whole area. And I'm going to show you in case you think I look crazy right now. This is the Luxie 205 tapered blending brush, by the way. Really nice brush. And we're going to take it right there, and we're going to, there was some kick in my face for that one, but it was kind of my fault because it's kind of a shimmer and I was kind of holding it upright. But we're going to take it, I just want to run it into this upper crease area right here and kind of show you what I'm talking about. Because, and I don't even know if it'll show up on camera, it might just make me look crazy. That's fine, I don't mind. But it just really takes and like washes that whole area and makes it look so effortless. I don't know. I love it. Or you can take it and like mix, say, Breakaway with, like, what's another color in here? Riff. Okay, take a little bit of Riff, which was that other light brown color. You mix the two together and then you have like a matte set, almost like a satin hybrid kind of color. And you can take and run that up here too. And it just looks so beautiful. I have found such a beauty in colors like Breakaway that are like really light shimmers. If you screw up your eyelids, if they start to skip, if you have any kind of an issue like that, take a shimmer, a light shimmer, or a shimmer, you know, that kind of, you feel like it's really malleable, and you can take a fluffy brush and it just helps diffuse. I don't know how it works, but I swear you guys, it totally does. And if I ever run into a time, I will make a mental note if I'm on camera to stop and show you what I'm talking about, because unless you are like in the comments and you know what I'm talking about, hit a girl up. But it works so good. Like, shimmers diffuse blotchy eye work so beautifully. You guys, I tried out a different foundation today. It's like one I've had in my drawer, and I did a review on it. I think I did a review on it forever ago. It's the, wait, I can actually tell you because it's still right next to me. It's the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear Makeup Stick right here. I am not loving this right now. I feel like if you, like, on camera, I think it looks okay, like it's fine, and it'll look better when my whole face is like, you know, blended and has bronzer, but this, like, filled in my pores, but like wouldn't sit on top of my skin on my nose. It just looks really wacky. I'm hoping with other products it doesn't look so crazy, but right now I feel like it looks a little bit crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so anyways, lower lash line, focus page. I want to take on the lower lash line, I need like a dense brush, like a smudger brush. That's what that's called, smudger brush. This is just the Sephora smudge brush right here, because I've had this a long time, and I gotta be honest, I didn't find it until relatively recently, and I was very excited. And we're gonna go into the shade Punk, which is that deep matte brown shade, and the mirror, I'm trying to look in the mirror like this, like, no, Paige, you need the side with the reflection. And we're just going to take, I didn't even say what we're going to do, but we're going to take and we're going to run that. We're going to run that on the lower lash line. Okay, I'm being sarcastic, but there was not a comment like on a video, but a comment in general. And it said like, well, I never know which one you're talking about. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm sorry. Like I try to say the shade names. Yeah, but I never see them in the pan. And I was like, okay. And so I'm a sarcastic bitch. I apologize. And a lot of times too, when I smudge out, I take my smudger brush and I kind of angle it down, and I'll actually kind of pull that darker color down a little bit, and it kind of like smudges itself out just a little bit more, and it just pulls the color and it diffuses it just a tiny bit. So instead of having just like a really harsh strip of dark brown, we actually end up with a little bit more of a gradient look, which is nice. But I'm going to take the shade Riff, which is that other light matte brown. And we're just going to run that right along here. I'm going to run, I'll be right back, and I'm actually going to go, I'm going to finish up the other eye. I think I'm going to leave this just as it is, throw on lashes and all that good stuff, and I'll be right back, y'all. I'm so excited. Look at my lizard eye. Yes. Okay guys, I went ahead, got everything all finished up. What do you think? I did take, and I popped a little bit of this Amrezy highlight, like just in like the dead center, just to give it like a oof, like that little bit more, but it wasn't a ton. I just wanted to add a little something. This is also the highlight that I'm wearing on my face today. But I have a question for you. I am currently wearing the Jeffree Star Liquid Lip in the shade Hunty, which is kind of like a caramel nude, which is not normally something I would like go with for my complexion because I'm so fair. But I thought it matched the eye look. So what do you guys think? All of that aside, I was doing a little bit of investigation because as I was doing this eye and just like hanging off of camera, that's when I do some of my best thinking, I was a little bit frustrated with this palette and how much product you get. So of course my mind immediately, I'm like, oh, I'm a nerd. So I just started thinking and like doing math on all the other palettes. So I went to the Ulta website, which I was already there because obviously I looked up this palette, and I looked up like the naked palettes and all of those. And those, all of the naked palettes that come in like the full-size nakeds, those are 0.05 ounces. And again, this is 0.02 per pan. I was like, my God, that's less than half the amount of product. Okay. I said, so maybe are these pans standard for other types of palettes? The smallest palette I could find was 0.04, and that was in their tiny, oh gosh, I just lost it. Their new one that they just came out with, the Beached eyeshadow palette, it was like the long blue one. It was the release that they did a couple weeks ago previous to this launch. I didn't do a review on it, but it looks like a beautiful palette. But those are 0.04, and then there's another small, the Naked Basics, I think was also 0.04, but I have not seen any of theirs that had 0.02, and I was like, okay, maybe it's because this one had 21 shadows, all of those had 12, like maybe they're still trying to give you the same amount of product, just over a more, like a larger color range. So then I did the math again, and in a naked palette, which has 12 shadows at 0.05, you end up with 0.6 ounces of total product, 0.60. And when I did the math for this one, it was 0.42. And I'm like, so for $5 less, because this is $49 or whatever versus those are $54, I believe. And I was like, to me, no matter how I slice this, I can't justify that it's, I mean, for $5 less, you're getting a lot less product. So in any event, you guys, I kind of feel like on that side of it, I feel like they're doing something, and there was no brush, and a lot of those did come with brushes. So I was like, okay, there's no brush. That's kind of a bummer. There's less product, also a bummer. Upside, you do get more colors, and the colors are really, really beautiful. I do love the versatility of this palette, and I love that if you've ever looked at any of their nakeds, they're very like true to one theme. Like the Naked Heat was all those, you know, more heat type colors, and then like the Naked Basics 2 had like its own theme, and they've all been kind of their own version of a very neutral palette. And I love that this one is kind of, you know, you get a couple berries, a couple bright blues, greens, pinks, some neutrals, a lot of like really nice smoky colors. They really have done a great job at giving you a basic palette that you can really jazz up and work a ton of different ways. So that's definitely a plus side. Now, because of the price discrepancy and the size and all that, I am not, and I do, by the way, I love this big ass mirror. That's a huge plus for me, but there are just a couple negatives, and I only got to use 5 shades out of this palette. So normally I would tell you yes or no, do I think it's worth it? And I think for today, this is one of the only times I've ever done this. I'm just giving you the straight facts. I'm not going to tell you that I think you need to run out and buy it. I want to play with a little bit more because I just want to make sure that my math is right on and whatnot. So I will definitely put this in a product update video. I want to know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm super curious, given everything I just said, what you guys think. So don't forget to leave all of that down below. And just above the comments, you'll see the description box. Go there for all my other social media handles, mainly Instagram and Twitter. I'm there a ton. I'm not going to lie to you. Instagram is my jam. I've been having a good time. Don't sue me. I love my life. So you guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I think my hair looks psychotic. I had it in a pony. I thought it looked weird. And now I feel like it looks weird down. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you like it in a pony? I feel like it looks weird now that I have it down and it's all like frizzified and weird looking. I don't know, you guys. The weather was way humid today and now my hair is just like so. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. Born to run, born to run. What do we think of the born to run? What do we think of my eyes though? Like seriously? Kind of slaying it. Kind of, just yeah. I'm running away from responsibility.